Welcome to Deep in Thought. I am your spokesperson, Amira, and we are going to dive deep into a lot of different topics about being a Black woman in today's society, working on our mental health as a Black community, and also daily things that happen in our lives, like in social media, even in our communities on a daily basis. So sit back, enjoy this episode, and if you have any questions, please send them at axdeepin, that's axdeepin at gmail.com. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Welcome back to another session with me. I am Amira. Thank you for coming back. Happy New Year's. In this session, we're going to be talking a little bit about fears. Since the New Year is coming up, or actually it's already here because it's January 4th, we're going to be talking about some fears that we might have and how to overcome those fears. You know, fears that we have within ourselves, fears that we have with our society, our community, and just fears that we see on a daily basis through social media. And what can we do to channel those fears? So I want to shout out the Motivation app because I use this on a daily basis. This is not a sponsorship. This is just something that I personally use and I personally choose to shout them out. They give you all of these different daily motivations where it is from your relationships, where you go through things at your job, or just personal things that you want to overcome. They always have a great quote. So I always use their quotes to, channel my conversation. This quote says, "There is a beautiful life waiting for you on the other side of fear." And we all want a beautiful life, and I think we all do have a beautiful life, but I think we kind of cover our beautiful selves in the covers of fear. We never get to see what we have or all of the accomplishments that we have because we always think of something else that provides us with anxiety and fear. So to overcome fear, you have to take action. And I want you to think about, what are some things that you are afraid of? One thing that I would say that I am afraid of is failing. I am going to just talk briefly about my childhood. In my childhood, I was always the one that was the strong one in the family. I had to always build myself up. When I was younger, I was always the crybaby. But when I got older, I kind of started to hide my feelings a lot. I'm not asking for help for anyone. I was always fearful of what people thought about me because I was had very low self-esteem. So those are one of the things that as to why I had so much fear when I was younger. And then a lot of things happened in my life growing up, and it made me start to create and have PTSD. And of course, knowing me, I always thought that could just go away, but it can't. So I do have fears of what can happen next. Little noises like pops and things like that scare me. People that walk behind me, that's a fear. The fear of the future, I'm always scared of that. This is kind of like a vulnerability right now. So one of the things that I am very fearful of is the future, because I don't know what can happen. I don't know where I will be. I don't know where this earth will be. I don't know where we all will be. And that's okay, because I think now that we have to start to think about what we are right now. We have to be grounded in where we are at the moment, because the past is gone and the future isn't here yet. And that's a very cliche quote, but it's a very honest quote that we have to take every single day with us. That what is happening right now, it's what is really happening. Not what's happening tomorrow and not what happened yesterday. Another thing that I think that really made me have fears is social media. Social media really influenced a lot of my fears because I can get on Instagram, I can get on any kind of social media platform, and let's say you scroll down just a little bit, you see some happy things, you see some motivation things, and then you see something that maybe is a little more sad, and then maybe you see death, because that is a lot that's going on, especially From, I will say, October till now, especially in the Black community, there has been a lot of death. And then channeling that in your daily life, it makes you think that any given time something could happen to you, which is another fear and also another anxiety. And then a lot of people are so factuated by true crimes and true documentaries, and they're very interesting, but we have to make sure that we cannot drown in that because it will create fears as well, unless it's educational purposes. But if we just watch it and listen to it and watch it and listen to it all day, every day, we're going to start to think that everybody around us is out to get us. So let's think about some things that we can do to overcome our fears. Some things that I've done is journal. When my brain is just so impacted, like it has so much in there that I gotta get it out, and sometimes ranting might not be the best idea at the time, I usually write it all down, and I write it as authentic and as real as possible. I don't hold back on anything. So if I feel like I'm crap that day, I'm going to tell myself, I am feeling like crap that day because X, Y, and Z. Or I don't feel like I'm my best today because I didn't do this. We have to be completely honest with ourselves. Therapy is another thing that really helped me. I'm not in it anymore, but I do recommend therapy for everybody, especially us as Black people, because you don't even realize how much generational trauma you have, and those fears alone can be a part of that generational trauma. Take one goal at a time. When you're journaling or writing things down, just take it at a time. You don't have to complete your goals in 30 days. You don't need a deadline for each and every goal. If you want to lose weight, take your time to lose weight. You can always just do 5 minutes at the gym. Do 25-minute workout. Think of it as, I'm not doing this to lose weight. I'm doing this to make my health better, make me feel better. And then another thing that I would say is less social media drama. I know we love the shade rooms and all of those rooms and all of those, social media drama platforms. I, as myself, still watches those things, but some of that can be very detrimental to our mental health because, again, we see a lot of things that happen in social media that is about death, about killings, about things like that, where it's not healthy to continue to go to something that's really happy, funny, something that's really motivating, and then the next swipe is someone dying. That's too many emotions in one setting that you don't want to have to impact your life. And so let's just make sure we minimize some social media and, touch the grass, as some people say. And another thing, and the last thing that I will say is you have to make sure that the people around you are helping you just as much as you're helping yourself. If you are around a bunch of negative people, then you will become negative as well. If people are not motivating you, if people are doing the same things over and over again and you're trying to change and improve, those kind of people will keep holding you back into like lifestyles that you probably fear and you don't want to be a part of anymore, and situations that could possibly hurt you in a way that you can't come back from. So make sure you get rid of these negative people in your lives. And I know the feeling of fright is bad enough. Just feeling fear is bad enough. But the damage it can do to your mental, physical, and environmental health, and what I mean by environmental is the space that you live in, is so much more powerful. So make sure that even if you don't use the things that I use, like journaling and taking one goal at a time, think of some things that can really help you overcome your fears one day at a time. I'm going to give you a quote, and then I'm going to leave you off with a quick little, upbeat to make you feel a little bit better. So this quote is, "Fear keeps us focused on the past or worried about the future. If we can acknowledge our fears, we can realize that right now we are okay. Right now, today, we are still alive, and our bodies are working marvelously. Our eyes are still seeing the beautiful sky. Our ears can still hear the voices of our loved ones. And just remember to always face your fears each and every day, gradually. You don't have to face them all at once, but make sure that you gradually face a fear, one a day. Because with overcoming fears, one can develop confidence, they can develop love, and they can develop more things about themselves that they probably haven't even heard of or knew that they even had. I hope this helps. I hope you guys are able to download that motivation app because it's really good for your mental health. It helps you focus on a lot of different feelings and emotions at one time. So please make sure you focus on your mental health. Love yourself. Give yourself a big hug today. And I will talk to you next time.